shunting, you soon end up dead. That's the same old story, same old song and dance.
Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Monday Morning Finish Line. February 25th. It feels like January 25th outside. How about that storm on Sunday? Big old huge winds whipping up to about 60 miles an hour. I thought I was going to lose power. Did not. I was able to get some work done. And and fighting off something, I don't know what it is. So hope everybody had a great weekend. Hey, it was our first big weekend of track and field. So why the song Same Old Song and Dance by Aerosmith? Well, in the Proviso West Invite, and everybody, we talk about Proviso West, where they've run bad meets. You know what? The meet went off, it was over by 2:30. And they started at 9, and then there was a half an hour break in between the 3,200 meter heats and then the 4x8. If you would have just run the 4x8s at 9:30 and then run right into the meet, we would have been out of there earlier. But you have to, I don't know. So a number of things. The facility, Proviso West facility, is great. Has a great track, has a great paint job on it. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, I don't think any of the coaches got meet information of, you know, what the order of events time schedule. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I asked for it on Thursday morning after the entries were closed. Never received any information. The athletic director sent me a note saying the meet's going to start at 9 o'clock, and we'll have heat sheets at the front door. Well, they had heat sheets, but they wanted to charge me for them. So, you know, same old stuff. So the communication, I had to get the heat sheets from a coach. The communication is still not there within that school, and we've seen that before. I didn't like the fact that they had the kids having team areas in the gym. They didn't used to have that with this meet. It was a 12-team meet. I was told it was going to be a 12-team meet 2 weeks ago. I counted 20 teams. I mean, come on, give me a break. You know, if you know it's going to be more, just tell us it's going to be more. So maybe there's not enough room for 20 teams, you know, in the along the walls and in the corners and everything else. But there were kids that were coming down to, they want to watch their teammates run. And so you're putting them away from that. So there was a little electricity in this meet, but not the electricity that you would find where you have, you know, teammates yelling at you during the 4x200 meter relay or so on and so forth. And then telling them that they can come down to the track to watch the 4x4s to get that electricity, and then telling them to clean up their team areas. They didn't have a team area. They were there for 5 seconds. Oh, I don't know. So, but it was a good meet. Mainly because it moved fast. You had 2 clerks, Art Paul, I think Lorette Cherry was helping out with the clerking. So you had some great clerks. When you have great clerks at a track meet, and it makes things go quicker. So I think I shot over close to 3 hours of video that you can see on you know, ilxctaf.com on the Runner Space page, where every race, we taped every race. You can watch every race. There were a few things that happened. 32, the distance races were good. 3,200 meter run, Jack Roberts takes the lead at 1,400 meters, goes on to run 9:18. Connor Zidek of Wheaton North about 9:28, Tyler Cushing 9:29, Tommy Brady 9:30. So good 2 mile. And then the 1,600 meter run, watch the end of this race, show you the final lap.
Get ready for a fantastic final 200. 3:59 with a lap to go. Hill on the outside making his move. And there goes Chagallus. a tactical 1 mile run.
So, you know, everybody, you want to see a fast mile time. And I think there's a time to run fast, and you're going to see that, you know, at top times maybe a little bit. At Batavia Distance Madness, at Distance Night in Palatine. So there's a time to run fast, and there's a time to learn to race. And I think a lot of the time in the indoor season, you learn how to race a little bit. Shogalis played with the field, as you could see in that final lap. Eric Snell and Joey Cash tried to take the lead. Shogalis controlled it and wouldn't let, he was the class of the field, he wouldn't let them by. He ran 4:29 indoors. Who's going to remember what he ran at Proviso West at the end of February? He was All-State last year, All-American. Didn't have this cross-country season that he wanted, but hey, he ran a good race, ran a great tactical race. So be it. The 600, Daniel Klisch, 1:24.81. And then Hinsdale's Jaden Queenis, I think I pronounced it right, 1:24.88, broke the Hinsdale South school record, so good for him. Great 600, Klisch. Can't wait to see what he runs in an 800, because right now, I mean, he went through the quarter in 54.8 on Saturday at Proviso. So, good job by him. 800, Seth Klein Collins of Naperville Central held off Michael Moriarty about 2:01.8, 2:02. Another great race, the hurdles between two great hurdlers, J.T. Lauder of Oak Park and Victor Cameron of Crete Mooney. Watch this race.
And Lauder got out nicely. Lauder and Cameron. Lauder. 7-2 hand unofficially.
7:42 for Lauder, 7:43 for Cameron. Lauder got off to a great start, and Cameron charged at the end there and just missed it by a lean by about that much. Field events there, Jaden Lambert of Downers Grove South, 47.6, an Illinois #1 mark in the triple jump. Andra Ward of Cahokia didn't jump. He jumped 46.10 the week before on the same runway. So, they've repaired the runways there. You know, in the new surface, it's a fast surface, good boards. We could see some good marks by the end of the year. I mean, West Suburban Silver is going to be held there. There's a few more girls' meets that are going to be held there, so we'll see some fast times there. And then Isaiah Tyler of Proviso East, state leading 6.7 in the high jump right now. So great job by Isaiah. Crete Mooney, only meet record of the meet. 1:30.93. Top time in the state in the 4x2. So overall, good meet. 4.5 hours. I was caught my breath. Was able to get home by 3:15 and got down to business, the business that I need to do. So the night before, I was at Huntley. Now Huntley, I called Chris Maxton, the new Huntley coach, Thursday. Or I sent him an email. I'm like, Chris, I'm going to be coming up. Can you send me meet information? Can you send me the heat sheets? He sent me the meet information. He's like, we're finalizing the heat sheets. I'll send them to you later this afternoon. An hour later, I got the heat sheets. So, makes things easier to cover a meet. Wouldn't you agree? Huntley's track, you had some great performances there. And you can watch those videos also on ilxctf.runnerspace.com, or the links are also on ilxctf.com. 3,200 meter relay, we haven't seen any fast times in the 3,200 meter relay so far this year. And it's February and March. At the end of April and the beginning of May, if we're still seeing times around 8:20 like the top time in the state is right now, then I get a little worried. So Huntley, 8:20.27. They ran 3 of their 4 guys. They ran Crystal Lake Central took over the lead for a little bit, but they had, what was it, a 2:02, 2:01. They put a freshman in there that ran 2:16, and then I think Jaden Conroy ran 1:58 anchor. So take him out, maybe put Ian Giesler in. They have a lot of decisions to make, plenty of time to do that, and Huntley could have a good relay team, so we'll have to wait and see. Jason Hoffman, 1:59.19, Illinois number 3. Jordan Freeze, Illinois number 4 at 1:59.40 in the 800. Great race, tight race through the first 400, and then they took over the last 300, just stormed away from the field. Wow, performance in the meet, easy. Jason Thormo of Grant, boy, defending champion at 400 meters. There is a great field. He wins the 60. I couldn't get the official time because one of the security guys wouldn't let me near the timer to ask. Oh well. 7:04 for Thormo in the 60. His final race of the day was a 22:77 where he stormed away from the field in the 200. And then in the 400 in the middle he did this. Watch the race.
It's Thormo against the field here. He's the class. And he's made up the stagger. Looks very smooth coming off the break. 24-1. Yeah, he looks good. Boy, that's smooth. That is smooth. Told you he was the class of the field. .5 unofficially.
Did he kill that field or what? I'm telling you. I mean, 50.69, number 4 in the state right now. I mean, what a great triple. He's in good shape. He looks good. I can't wait to see what he does outdoors when his times are really going to drop. The 3200 was a great race too. We talked about Ian Giesler of Huntley. He ran 9:41.75. Anthony Farmer from Burlington Central, All-State 2A runner, ran 9:41.93. They have a new track, Burlington Central. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see it. I really can't wait to see it because I think it's a step up. Huntley's track is a step a little bit with a few improvements from Batavia's model, and Burlington Central copied Huntley's model, so it's Batavia Part 3 or whatever. But, you know, they've had the bad weather, and Farmer said, yeah, we got to train indoors. It was nice to train on an indoor track, and there's a lot of schools that don't get to do that. I wish Yorkville would have been able to build that 300-meter track. That would have been cool. But what a great race. Zach Albrecht of Jacobs won easily in the mile, 4:25.50. So I was at those two meets. I was also at Wheaton Warrenville South. Aaron Olczak of Palatine, 8:50, has the fastest time in the state of 55-meter hurdles, 0.4 of a second ahead of Hallie Bieber, who ran that time on that track the week before. So we'll see Bieber in the 55 hurdles at North Central on Thursday. We'll see what she runs. But Olczak, that was a great race. I looked up at the time. I'm like, she ran 8:50. So. Great. Other meets, and we're going to look at 3 more meets because we're at 12 minutes right now and I want to stop. I have something to say at the end too. Homewood-Flossmoor Girls. Homewood-Flossmoor looks really good. If there's a favorite right now, it's Homewood-Flossmoor. And 4x2, 1:44.57. I think they ran 1:45 and change, 21 or something like that the week before. And then the 4x4, 4 flat point, 86. Let's see how far they can bring that time down in May. But that's impressive. Also, what is impressive, Madison Mybrick, also of Homewood-Flossmoor. State lead in the high jump with 5.7 clearance, and then in the long jump, state lead at 19.2 on that track with no spikes. Wow. Great 60 there. Mira Wilson 7.74. Kayla McCall 7.75. Serena Bolden 7.79. The 60 hurdles, Kayla Walters 8.60 to 8.61 over McCall. So good meet. Best girls meets coming up this week at North Central. I know it's opinion or whatever, but this is fact. So maybe it's the best girls distance meet that we'll see this week or this year indoors. Normal West boys meet. Marcellus Morris takes it up. You know he ran 48 points outdoors last year. Well, 50.82. He's one of the top 10 runners in the 400, but you can't run 60s and 200s all indoor season. So I don't know if he ran in one of the relays, but pretty good. Nick Dowd, 4:24.84, winning the 1600 by 7 seconds over Dathan Mayton of Chatham Glenwood. 7-second win for him. 4x4 East St. Louis. This is going to be a preview of 2A later this year. East St. Louis 3:26.70, Eureka 3:28.95. Good relay there. And Hunter Hendershot in the shot 56.10. So improved on that. We have like athlete from Rolling Meadows. I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. Threw over 57 feet at Huntley. He's going to be throwing this week at York. It'll be interesting. At Olivet Nazarene, the high school invitational, Taylor Gilling, a great double, 7.79 in the prelims to the 60, 7.81 in the finals, 25.25 winning easily in the 200. On the boys' side, Evanston had some great relay performances. Max Peterson ran 2.7 to win the 800. Quamari Williams of Danville, 1:24.41, I think the best time in the state in the 600. And Jared Crease of Lincoln Way Central, boy, 9:21.60, wins by about 18 seconds. He's only a junior. Get to see him next year. So Crease running 9:21, that's number 2 time in the state. So be interesting. What's coming up this next week? We have a lot of stuff, man. There were a ton of meets this week. Right, recaps on most of them. You'll see that sometime in the morning on Monday, today, if you're watching this now, or Tuesday. Yesterday I released it. So we have Thursday, we have North Central High School Invitational at North Central College. Always a great distance meet. We get to see Caitlin Hart in person. Love watching her run. We see Alex Morris. We'll see Isabel Christensen. We'll see Katie Hoey. We'll see Hinsdale Central girls, Emma Watke and McKenna Revord. So, and then Haley Bieber in the hurdles. We'll see some great relays. We'll 9:30. Well, somebody, I can't remember. Somebody ran 9:37, 9:38 in the 4x8. Taking the lead there, and the team that I saw it earlier today when I was writing things down, so can't remember, but that'll be a great meet. Friday's York meet. Then check this out for distance wise. Now you have York, you have Wheaton Warrenville South, you have St. Charles East, oh yeah, and you have Hersey and Josh Methner, defending state champion at in cross country. Don't know if we're going to see Ethan Kern race, but still, loaded distance fields, and that should be fun to watch. On Saturday, whole bunch of meets. We go into the college meet weekend. Meet at SIU, a meet at ISU, Bloomington Invitational, Girls Invitational at Illinois Wesleyan. You have the Charger Classic at U of I. You have the Rockford Auburn, former the Hononegah meet at Rockford. That's a good meet. And then during the evening, come on down to Rolling Meadows, Pole Vault Summit, baby. I love that meet, the Windy City Pole Vault Summit, and so it's going to be a busy weekend. We just keep getting busier and busier. The next week it's Batavia Distance Madness and New Balance Indoor Nationals, where we'll see a bunch of Illinois runners, athletes there. And it just goes on. We just move towards the end of indoor season. I can't wait to get to outdoors. Not with the weather that we have right now, but some better weather, so cross your fingers with that. So, one more thing. So I'm just composing myself here. We had a thing that happened to the Downers Grove North community during the week, where a volleyball player, Elizabeth Dunlap, was walking across the street. She had the walk sign, and she got hit by a drunk driver and passed away Saturday night. So after the Proviso meet was over, I was down in the infield and I was talking to John Sipple, the Downers Grove North distance coach, and he's like, I don't know how to feel. Everybody's numb. It's, you have one day you have a classmate, I don't know. Why? Why? You can't, there's no answers. There's no answers. Why it happened. So, and I go, and he told me where it was, and I'm like, I lived in the west suburbs most of my life, and I've gone down Main Street, in Downers Grove. I used to live in Westmont for a time, and so I know that area. I'm familiar with the area. And so now it's just going to be another corner that has a cross because of a drunk driver. And so all we can do at this point, pray for the school, pray for the community, pray for the family, pray for the driver, ask for forgiveness. It's hard to move on. It's hard to move on from something like that. I don't have any other words to say for that. So we usually leave you with some music at the end of Monday Morning Finish Line. Beth Dunlop was a volleyball player, a junior, for Downers Grove North team that got second at state. And she was a junior. I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to leave the last 18 seconds silent and say a little prayer for her family, for Downers Grove North, the Downers Grove community, like I said before. And we'll give you 18 seconds to do that. And we'll see you next week on Monday Morning Finish Line. Bye.